T. Welcome to the Influencer Stories Hub. It's pleasure to have you here. Let's start from the beginning. Can you tell us about your journey? How did everything start for you?
Okay, thank you, Sheikh. Thank you so much, and um I appreciate you, and I am very happy to be on this podcast today. So my name is Taiwo Sodiq Asanat. I am from Lagos, Nigeria. I have a degree in estate management and valuation, but I transitioned into the remote workspace in 2024 after I discovered opportunity in virtual assistance. Since then, I have supported founders team across different countries with calendar management, operations, coordination, executive support, and I am also very passionate about continuous learning and helping others understand how they can start their own journey in this remote workspace. So, my journey actually started when a friend of mine shared this opportunity as a virtual assistant training. But before I move into the remote space, I was already working on sites as a personal assistant in an architectural company. So administrative support has always been part of my foundation. And the turning point came in 2024 when a friend shared a link to a virtual assistant training with me. That was actually my very first impression with any online professional training. And I almost didn't take it because I felt like I don't know anything about remote workspace, and it felt so unfamiliar at that time. But I decided to try it, and that decision changed everything till today. And during the training, I became curious about the global opportunities available in the virtual support space since I already have experience in personal assistance. So it felt so natural to transition into administrative and executive support rather than just scratch into another field. So after the training, I began learning internationally, watching videos from YouTube, learning from other content creators, influencers, and studying how the successful virtual assistants built their career from scratch. And most importantly, putting myself out there, even when I was still learning. I didn't wait until I was perfect. I started applying for volunteer roles. I wanted a real remote experience. At first, I received many rejection, which was quite heartbreaking, and actually to mess with your mental health and even silence. But I kept going. I didn't let that stop me. And eventually, I reached out directly to an NGO in Dallas, Texas through a website and offered to support them as a volunteer administrative assistant. And to my surprise, within 24 hours, they responded, and I was so happy that day. It was like a breakthrough for me, and that became my very first remote opportunity. And that experience also opened so many doors for me. I work with new tools, supported teams, and also supports founders across different countries and gain confidence in my communication, my coordination, and my skills in remote operation. And from there, I continue upskilling through project management training because as an executive assistant, you will do so many things. You will manage projects, either mini projects, big projects you will manage. So I did an upskilling which actually added as an additional to my virtual assistant program. Later, I connected with startup founders on LinkedIn. I volunteered again and even transitioned into a paid role supporting leadership operation. And since then, I can say I have continued growing through referrals, short-term gig, executive support opportunities. And today I specialize in supporting founders in executives with structures, coordination, and operational clarity. And I am still building internationally, and that's it. I've been in a remote workspace, and I'm still growing in it. So that's how my journey started, and that's how it has been going. Thank you.
It's truly inspiring. It's truly inspiring. Was becoming a VA always your plan?
No, no, no. It has never been my plan. It has just wake up one day. I am a personal assistant, so I just work as a personal assistant. And a friend just sent me a random link, like I should just try to do this training, which at first, like I said, I was not comfortable with it because I know I am not familiar with the remote space, so I did not understand anything. Because and when I did my research, I'm like, okay, anything that happens from my hand is like I'll be the one to take responsibility for it. You'll be the one to take responsibility for your workspace, unlike if you are working on site. So being on site and working remotely, they are like different world entirely. They're like different world entirely because you go to your normal tradition 9 to 5, and now you just transition into a remote settings where you have your workspace, your office from home. If anything should, if you're having any internet glitch, is on the company that you work for. But if you are working remotely, is on you. So that alone was quite a lot for me then. But I was able to break through. So I break through, and that was how everything started. It was not as if it was something that it has already been planned. Nothing was planned. I didn't plan anything. It just worked out. So that's
That's fantastic. What was your first breakthrough moment where you felt, yes, this is working?
Okay, my first breakthrough after my ALX training, it's ALX Africa, was I think my first breakthrough moment was when that NGO in the United States responded to my email and invited me for a discovery call within 24 hours. I was so happy because I have been getting so many silence for months. For months. I finished my ALX in September 2024, and I got my first response email, I think in January 3rd or thereabouts, 2025, if I can remember. Yeah, I think that was when I started. And when I sent out the email, it was even during the holiday. And I sent out this email. Let me just give this thing a try. It was a pitch. I went to Google and I searched for a volunteering company that needed a virtual assistant. That was what I did on Google. I checked their websites. I took their email and I sent them this code pitch and they responded. At that moment, I was not even applying for money. It was not even about money. I just wanted an experience and confidence working remotely. So getting that response alone made me realize that my skills were valuable beyond my immediate environment. So that gave me confidence to say, yes, this is possible. I can do it. And that moment changed how I saw myself professionally. Yeah, so that was my first breakthrough.
Quite impressive. You work closely with C-suite executives. That is a big responsibility. How do you manage their trust and expectations?
Okay, so working with C executives from different time zones, and it is not easy. Yes, it is not easy, but it's actually worth it. It's actually worth, because working with executive require a high level of responsibility. They rely on you to protect their time, their priority, and communication flow. They rely on you to take off workload from their shoulders. You are going to work behind the scene. You are going to think for them. You are going to help them to execute um projects when they are not on seat. So you are like their second brain. And that alone is like you're having a second life out of your own life. And that has been so wonderful. One thing I focus on is consistency. Executive trust people who are reliable, proactive, and discreet. You see these three things: be reliable, proactive, and discreet. For everyone who wants to venture into executive assistance or who are already in executive, working closely with C-level executives, I think these three things we should have this at the back of our mind. You need to be reliable for them. You need to be proactive. You need to take ownership. Even before they tell you what to do, you should know what to do. Take ownership. Make their business your business. Be discreet. You don't want to tell a third party, even from the same team, what you are working with executives. So for anyone that is very discreet, I think that's one of the go ahead for you to succeed. If you need to you need to take discreet with utmost respect. So I made sure that I understand their working style as well. I I understand their priorities and how they prefer information to be presented. And I also communicate clearly and provide updates before they even need to ask. So over the time, that consistency builds trust naturally, and discreet as well bring trust naturally. So that was how I was able to manage trust working with C-level executives, both in startups or already established organization that I have worked with. That was how I was able to successfully work with C-level executives. Thank you.
That's so nice. You handle calendars, inbox, and operations. Which one do you feel is
Mm.
most challenging and why?
Oh, the one that I know that is most challenging is calendar management. The thing is, we don't really talk more about calendar management, but calendar management is one of the most crucial and critical way to work with anybody. Might not even be executive assistants. It might be with other team, it might be in any field, but you see that calendar management is one of the most priorities. If you want to succeed as an executive assistant, you must know how to protect your executive time without causing any friction. So when you are managing it, you are not just scheduling. You need to manage based on business impacts. You need to know how to prioritize. You need to know how to prioritize meetings, projects, like which one is coming first. Are you sure this one is more important? And this is how I've been doing my work while managing calendar. I always prioritize this um using priority metrics. Let me just put it that way. I use the priority metrics when managing calendar. The first is business impacts, the one that comes first, the high priority, followed by any strategic project or task. And lastly, the one that I know that they are important, but they can still wait. That's how you are protecting your executive. You are keeping them, you are keeping it being productive and energy. You don't just want to go to your executive calendar and just set up any event without checking their calendar. You need to check it like three times. And after then, you confirm that as their executive, have you need to have like a note where you put everything. Even after you have your tools that set a reminder, you need to have that. You need to have something you go back to check, is my executive free at this particular time? Is this event, is it that important? Because while you are supporting C-level executive, these are the things you need to keep in mind. So you have to make that decision. You need to understand the urgency, the stakeholder, and the time zones. They are very, very important. You don't want to set up a and you don't want to set up an event that will glitch with your executive time zone. So that one is also important because you are working virtually. You are not just working in your own local time. You are working with international companies. You are working with international clients. So you need to keep that in mind. So calendar management is one of the most, like, I don't want to say crucial, but one of the most important things and the challenging that an executive do face. But if you're someone that is very conscious of time, you communicate very well, you understand everything. And sometimes even decision making flow within the organization. So you need to have that in mind. So it requires both structure and judgment. Before you make your judgment with your executives, you need to have that in mind. You need to have that structure before you make your final judgments about your calendar management, before you set that meeting, before you set that event. You need to have that in mind. You need to have that structure and judgment. So to avoid any glitch. So if you can successfully do this, if you can successfully manage a calendar without any friction, then you can work with executives because calendar is very sensitive. So I think that's one of the most challenging, most executive faces. Yeah. So let me just keep it that way.
That's so nice. As a founder, how did you build your brand from scratch? What steps did you take in the beginning?
Okay. Um Firstly, the first thing I did after my training, let me start from the mistake that I made is that I did not put myself out there. Putting yourself out there, putting your brand out there, letting people know what you do, how you can help them solve their problem. I think by doing that, we help anybody to build their brand. I didn't do that when I first started. I was just learning. I was just learning. I was just upskilling. I didn't put all that outside, and it took me time. And when I am talking about time, it actually took me so many time, like months, before I could know what I was doing wrong. I didn't put myself out there. I didn't let people know what I was doing because I solemnly relied on job boards, which most job boards are saturated. But if you're putting yourself out there, you're letting people know what you are doing. It will be very easier for companies who need your service to find you. So I wasn't doing that. So that was my first mistake. Then after I figured that out, I started putting myself out there. I started anything, if I am learning anything, any mistake, and I don't just share my win alone. I share my mistake because I wouldn't want any other person to make that mistake. So I share their mistake. I let people learn from me, not just to celebrate with me. Know when I fail. That has always that has always been something that I loved about my how I put myself, how I sell myself. I love that about me. So I didn't just put my win outside there. So it started like putting myself out there. And secondly, connecting with people, connecting with founders. Even when I started putting myself out there, I didn't connect with founders. I was just connecting with influencers like me, content creators like me. I was just connecting with them. I was learning from them, but I wasn't pushing myself to people who needed my service. I wasn't doing that. And that is another, like, it took me another like months again to do the right thing, even while putting myself out there. You can be putting yourself out there and still be doing the wrong thing. So I started pitching with HRs. I started with pitching with founders. I'll go to their pages. I'll go to their website to see what they need, how I can help them. Even on Instagram. I'll go to founders, I'll search for founders, I'll go to their page and see how my services can help them. So I believe if every virtual assistant that are just starting should do this, don't just follow any creators that just celebrate their wins. They just wanted people to say congratulations to them, and they're not telling you what they're doing behind the scene. They are not telling you what they are doing wrong. I think by so doing, people will not get what you're actually doing. People will not understand how the fields work. So that's how I started doing my own differently. So I do that. I make clarity. I make sure to tell people what they want to, not just what they want to hear, but how they can execute, how they can be successful in this field. So that has always been helpful, and that's how I make sure to be on structure because I love using that word because if you are doing if you want to be a creator and also be in your field, you need to have a structure. So that's helped me a lot. That's helped me a lot. Yeah. So that's one thing.
That's amazing. Many people don't understand how powerful a virtual assistant can be. In simple words, how do you add value to a CEO's life?
So um in a simple term, as a virtual assistant to CEO, I think space to think and lead. You need to have that space to think and lead for them. Many executives are extremely capable, but they are also extremely busy. When a virtual assistant manage their calendar, inbox, follow-ups, and coordinates, it allow them to focus on strategy instead of routine task. So the value we bring is clarity, structure, and time are the most important resources at time, so they can focus on what's important, what is the more important, not that they will be chasing emails, they'll be chasing calendar. They do not want that. They wanted someone who solved their problem, not someone who had to their problem. So that's in a simple word, I would just say clarity, structure, and time. That's what leaders are looking for.
That is awesome. Every journey has a struggle. What were some of your biggest challenges when you started?
Mm. My biggest challenge was I didn't get it right at first. That was my biggest challenges. I didn't get it good, and many people assume that you exist in that being in Africa and the limitation access to global opportunities. I am in Africa, so we always have this limitation to access to information and access to a lot of people. But from my experience, I have learned that location is not the biggest barrier. Visibility and position are. How are you positioning yourself? How are you making yourself visible to others? So yes, there can be challenges like time zones difference, internet reliability sometimes, or access to certain platform. But what really makes the difference is how you prepare and how visible you are. I have worked with organizations outside my country without relocating, and that showed me the global workspace in is open to other people to think. So instead of seeing Africa as a limitation, I see it as a starting point. What matters? What is your skills, communication, and also willingness to learn and continuous learning? So that's my biggest challenges.
That's nice. Did you ever feel like quitting? If yes, what kept you going?
There are so many times I feel like quitting, but what actually kept me going was this is who I am. I love helping people. I love thinking that I love being the person that people rely on, even in family, not only in work, even in family. I love being the one that people rely on. So that alone kept me going. I want to help people. I want people to say, "Oh, she is my behind. She's working behind the scene. She is my other brain." So I love that. So that alone has been one of the things that kept me going. So even whenever I will cry and I will still stand up. So it's like we are not giving up. You will get tired. There's no how you not get tired. You will get tired, but your ability to move on, your ability to quickly learn from your mistakes, and also your passion. Those are the things that will keeps you going, and that's what has kept me going, and that's what is still keeping me going. So my passion for this field has kept me going. So even if I face any challenges, even if it seems like it is impossible, I will keep going because of that passion, and that passion has been one of the things that has been helping me. So that's that is it.
It's fantastic. For someone watching this who wants to become a VA, where should they start?
Hmm. I would say they should start with what they have. They should start with what they have. One thing is not about you taking different courses. It's not about you acquiring many certificates. Upskilling is very, but the one thing that is important is position yourself, being able to be someone people can rely on. No, I don't believe in success as a virtual assistant depend on your on many certificates. I've seen people asking me, "Oh, I just finished a course. Like, can I take another course?" It is not about the courses you are taking. No, it is not. It's not about the courses you are taking. For me, I focus on learning first, then practice. Practice what you learn. What I learned through volunteering and supporting founders directly helped me a lot. And I think people did not want to start from scratch. People just wanted a role, like they are doing it for money. Obviously, everybody are working for money, but you need to start from somewhere. You need to volunteer. It's not necessarily it should be for long. You can volunteer just for 1 month. So, as a virtual assistant that is just starting, start with what you have. If you have just only your luck, you don't have to have a big monitor, you don't have to have a fancy workspace before you start. I started from my bedroom before I started upgrading myself. So they can start with what they have. Start with what you have, build on it, volunteer, then start. In fact, even your voluntary role. I have a friend who volunteered and she was retained and she's still working with them up till dates. So voluntary roles help you and it will open your eyes to so many global opportunities and also to tools that you can pay thousands of millions of naira to learn volunteer from volunteering roles. I knew what was called metrical, but from my volunteering roles, I knew what was metrical and I started working on metrical. Till now, I am still using metrical very well, even for my personal use. I use metrical to schedule my contents all over the platforms. So I will advise any virtual standards that are just starting. And we don't necessarily have to niche down. We don't necessarily have to niche down to a particular field. Spread yourself, learn. Then, by learning from different niches, you will know the one you are very good at. You can now pitch down. You can now niche down. I don't advise anybody to just niche down. You just finished your any training, then you just said you just want to be a customer support virtual assistant, or you just want to be ghost writers. No, spread yourself, give yourself opportunities to learn, and also put yourself out there, put your brand out there, which is very important. By so doing, we see how everything will work fast for you and how successful your journey will be. So that's my advice for any virtual assistant that is just starting. Thank you.
It's truly inspiring. And how can someone get their first client?
Oh, from you can leverage any platform. Like me, I I use LinkedIn very well. In fact, LinkedIn is one of my powerful tools. I've gotten like two clients from LinkedIn. I've gotten two clients from LinkedIn, and I also use Upwork. Though Upwork is very competitive, highly competitive, and it requires funds because you buy connect a lot to apply for the jobs. But if you cannot apply, if you cannot, if you don't have the funds readily, you can use LinkedIn, you can use Indeed. In fact, like you can use WhatsApp to start. Start from startup founders, startup business, small business owners that you know. Pitch yourself to them. Oh, I am a customer support. I noticed that your Instagram page, you have so many comments that you did not respond to. I can help you to do it with just little amount. I can help you to do this. Um, Tell people how you can help them. People want people who can help them. Don't use a generic like you just go to chat GPT, you give it a nice prompt, then GPT does not have any emotions. They are just there to make our work easier. So the best thing for you to do after GPT has given you everything, fine tune it. Go to that person's website. How can I help this person? How can my knowledge help this person? How can my skills help this person? Pitch your speech to them. If you're a graphic designer, show them your portfolio. And one thing that is very important is having a sample of work. Don't just come and tell me you can do this. People want results. People want to see samples of what you've done. If you are a project manager, you are a virtual assistant, you are a graphic design, I will advise you have different portfolios for different areas. I have a portfolio. If I am applying for any data entry gigs, I have my separate portfolio for that. If I am applying for a virtual executive assistant, I have my portfolio for that. If I am applying for a project manager, I have my portfolio for that. Don't mix everything up. Have different CV. Tailor your CV. Don't just use a generic CV for everything. Tailor your CV to any job application that you are using. Put it on Chat GPT. Tell Chat GPT to tailor your CV to this particular job description. Tell it to help you to put it in a way that will help you pass the ATS standard. By using this, and also tell ChatGPT to use the keywords, the tools that it is in that job description, and also apply to job that you know you can do. Don't apply to job because you hear the amount they'll be paying. Don't do that. I will not advise anybody to do that. Small gigs can open doors. You can get referrals. I have also I know that I can 90% can close my eyes and I will do the job. And also upskill. Don't be stagnant. Don't rely on anything that any courses that you do recently. One of my best friend that I recently have is YouTube. I learned so much on YouTube. I learned so much, so much. Even if I should pay for any courses, after the courses, I want to know more. I do my master classes on YouTube. I'll go to YouTube. I will how okay, how can I use this tool? How can I use it to solve this person's problem? And even before I go to YouTube, I'll first go to Chat GPT. That GPT should suggest a successfully creators that I can learn this particular tools that I just finished learning, or even the one that I just hear about. There are so many times I go to LinkedIn and I will see creators talking about how a particular tools help them. I'll just go to YouTube. I want to know more about these tools. It is you might not know everything, but you know the basics. So let's say any client, just you get a client tomorrow and the client asks you, have you used these tools before? Don't say no. Quickly Google about the tool. Do your research. And God so good, it might be some tools that you've already learned from YouTube. You just pitch yourself, oh, I have worked with these tools. I know the basics. And I am a fast learner. Don't say no. Don't say no. And lastly is put yourself out there. That can never be overemphasized. Put yourself out there. Let people know what you do. And by so doing, you might not even. I have friends that they don't apply on job boards. They have never applied on job boards. They either get their job through referrals or through people coming to them, HR coming to them, founders come to them. I saw your page. I see what you do. I have a job. How can you help me? And that's how they have been doing. So I know works for you. If you see that branding is not working for you, you can pitch. If you see pitching is not working for you, apply on job boards, apply on LinkedIn, apply on Indeed, apply on Glassdoors, watch creators, go to YouTube and search the latest YouTube and the latest platform that works most or best in your location. And you can start with agency company. So, and like late last year, I started working with an agency company. How did I get to know about the agency company? I got to know about them on TikTok from a content creator. She talked about it that she got a job from them. And I went online, I checked for their page, and I applied. I did my first assessment, I did my second assessment, I did my first interview. And when I passed the interview, I undergo a 3 days compulsory training. It was quite intense. It tested my mental health, it tested my knowledge. Because there are sometimes you will think you know something, but you did not. It until when you started working with another company, you see how they do things. Their cultures are different. And I was happy I passed the 3 days training. Until now, I am still working with that agency. So you can start from there, start small. Then from there, you earn big. And lastly, that I'll use to round up, if you want to apply to any jobs, if you want to apply through their emails, their career, always apply. While you're applying with your CV, add your cover letters, add your portfolios, because that's your sample of work. And if possible, quickly record yourself so they will know how you speak. They will get familiar with your face. You can add your video. Just tell them why they should hire you, why you are better than other candidates. That will give you edge. That might not give you 100% employment, but I know that will give you edge. It's not just going to be a silence. You will get a response from woman and not the automatic AI response that will reject you. And also tailor your CV, tailor your cover letter to that job description. And by so doing, you will get your clients. It might take time, but it's actually worth the stress. It's actually worth the stress. So that's what I say. Thank you.
So awesome. Let's do a quick rapid fire round. Just simple and quick answer. I'll ask you a few questions. You just answer in what comes to your mind.
Okay.
Work from home or office?
Hmm. Work from home. I've tasted it and I am enjoying it. So work from home.
Early morning or late night walk?
It depends on you. It depends on you. It depends on some people love to sleep at night. So while some people love graveyard shift. So for me, I am the type that I don't really sleep very well at night. So I prefer the graveyard shift. So late night is actually fine by me. So I don't mind using my morning or afternoon to rest. So I prefer the graveyard shifts.
Favorite app?
We say pitching.
Okay.
You get your fine. Is it a yes or no? But you get a response. If you are pitching very well, if you are speaking their language they want, don't just say what you can do. Tell them how you can help them. So pitching works for me.
One word to describe your journey.
Hmm. It has not been easy. It has
But
not
you
been
have to give
easy.
us one word.
It's quite challenging. Let me just use that. Challenging.
Challenge.
Challenging.
That's
Yes.
fantastic. How do the people find you online and follow your work?
I use okay recently. I think this year I just started using other platform, but mostly platform that I use is LinkedIn. So and on any of all the platforms that I'm using, I have my portfolios on any of the platforms. So before you, if you go to my pages on LinkedIn, Facebook, on Thread, on Twitter, and also on Instagram, you will definitely find my job there. So before you get to me, you know what I can do and who I have helped. So you know that can she help me? Can she can she solve my problem? So you will definitely know that before you even get to me. So
That's nice.
yeah,
We are going to
LinkedIn.
share those links in our description. Check out T's work and connect with her. Before we end, what message would you like to give to people who are afraid to start something new?
Okay. Just start anywhere you want to start. Start with what you have. If you have a phone, start using your phone. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself thinking about if you can do this or if you cannot do it. Start from somewhere. Don't think about what will people say. No, don't. Just start with what you have. If you have a phone and you know you can use that phone to respond to DMs, you can respond to email, start with that. Start with what you have. When I started, I did not have headsets. When I started, I did not have big monitor. I did not have any fancy workspace. No, I did not have all that. But I started anyways because I wanted change. But the only thing that will push you if you have something that you wanted to achieve. So if you are comfortable with your current situation, you can be how you want to be. But if you are not comfortable, then move on, stand up. Don't just don't complain. Don't complain. Nobody is coming to help you. I am not coming to help you. Your mentor is not coming to you. You can have several mentors, but your mentors are not coming there to help you. You are the only one who understands your situation. So if you are comfortable with that your situation, then just relax. I was not comfortable with my situation. I was not comfortable with my 9 to 5. I was not comfortable with the pay. But I make the move because I wanted change, because I wanted to upgrade, because I wanted to evolve. So just start with what you have and pray, and God will lead you through. That's how I was able to crack my journey. That was how I was able to be successful till today. And I am still learning. I am still looking for good pay. So by so doing, you will get it right. That's all. Thank you, Sheikh.
Yes. Thank you so much, T, for sharing your journey. This was truly inspiring. To everyone watching, if you enjoy this conversation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Influencer Stories Hub. Also, check out T's work and connect with her. You might just need a virtual assistant in your life. See you in the next episode. Thank you. Thanks for your timing.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.